watching Misinformation with Marilyn Messenger. On today's agenda, we have a new sperm race that was taking place in Monaco today. And the scientists from Pew Research Center have found out that nose picking is allegedly connected to having Alzheimer's and... Oh, pause! My producer just told me that the NYPD reported a crime case happening in the New York City. A woman was beaten half to death in Central Park, and the details are still coming in. Coming in straight from the police station of New York City, we have Chief Head and Detective of the NYPD, Mr. Grant Wizar, reporting about the events of last night. So, Mr. Wizar, Grant, what really happened in Central Park last night?
No, this lady
Whoa, Detective. We're actually live on television right now, so could you just try to make this a bit more media friendly for us? Thank you.
Okay then. After I moved here to New York from my home state of Texas, God bless the land, I set out to rid this city of these animals like these five. These damn baboons and honestly, these creatures are decimating this beautiful city. These damn have raped and beaten this defenseless and gorgeous white female almost to death. 5 boys all attacking one innocent woman.
This sounds awful. Is the victim okay, Mr. Wizar? How often do crimes like this take place?
The madam is currently in a coma. And did you know that 13% of the population commit 50% of the crimes? It's in their blood. These are very, very violent.
Whoa, so you think this was a premeditated crime, a racial crime against a white lady conducted by black boys to show some kind of racial injustice in New York?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Chief Grant Wizar. While the head of NYPD is collecting more information from the forensics experts on this case, we will interview a citizen witness named Doug, and he's going to tell us what he saw at the crime last night. So, Doug, tell me, where were you at the time of the incident?
So I was just walking along and suddenly I see this group of teenagers walking by. So I ran and hid in the bushes. And I'm certainly glad I hid because I a little while later see them attacking and robbing a pedestrian who just walked by. So I was really scared. I sat there for a good 20 minutes and when the coast was clear I got out of there.
I see. Were you afraid of them? Were you fearing that they might have attacked you if they saw you?
Well, I don't know, they looked quite intimidating, so I'm glad I got out of there in time.
That must have been terrifying, Doug. Did you witness any of the crimes that we are discussing here this night?
Yeah, so I actually saw them attacking a pedestrian who walked by, and I didn't quite get a clear image of it because it was dark as a quantum black hole out there, but he appeared to be unconscious after they left him, so I couldn't be there anymore. I just had to run away.
Maybe you can identify any of the suspects taken into custody as the people who were in the Central Park last night?
Yeah, no, so it was just too dark. I unfortunately can't recognize any of the individuals who robbed that poor man.
Thank you for sharing that with us here at Crew Misinformation, Doug. So, reporting back from Mr. Wizar. Sir, what information have you gathered from the forensics?
My lady has just been identified. Her name is Trisha Maley. And not only has she been beaten so close to death, she could see Jesus, but she was also raped and abused. I don't give a I don't give a damn what these 5 black will pull out their red ass to defend themselves. Cause I ain't gonna let them go free. Sperm was also found over her body.
Actually, funny you mentioned sperm, detective, because we're going back to reporting on the sperm race in Monaco this. Oh, I'm truly sorry for that interruption, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else. We're sadly going to postpone talking about new innovative sports in Europe because we have now invited a real racial injustice expert here with us today to talk about how this case might be a case of racism.
Hi, I'm Hope Liberty, an expert who studies how the criminal justice system affects Black people in the United States. When people talk about crime and violence involving Black Americans, the statistics are often showed without context, which lead to misleading conclusions about an entire community.
Can you explain what you mean by that?
What I mean by that is that history shows that Black Americans have often been treated more harshly by the criminal justice system. Even today, Black Americans make up 13% of the US population, but around 37% of the prison population.
Does that mean that Black people commit more crimes in the US?
No, it does not. It shows that Black people are more likely to be stopped by the police more often than white Americans. Besides of this, crimes in Black neighborhoods are recorded more, even when the same behavior happens in other neighborhoods. Higher crime rates in Black neighborhoods does not show that Black people are naturally more violent. The crimes are mostly connected to poverty, lack of jobs, poor housing, and limited access to good school, not skin color.
Are there examples of laws that affect Black communities more than others?
Yes, take drug-free zone laws. They give harsher punishment if drugs are found near schools or public housing. These laws apply to everyone, but because Black people live closer to these areas, they end up being punished more often. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you so much for being here with us today at Misinformation, Hope, Liberty. It was a nice time talking to you, and we will take into account the racial injustice happening in New York today. Thank you.
Meanwhile, defense and district attorneys argue at press conference in court.
I want people at home watching to understand something very important. These 5 boys are young, they're not yet adults. They were taken in by the police and questioned for a long time. Some of them were scared and tired, but did the interrogation stop? No. When children are questioned under these circumstances, there's a risk that they may say things to make the questioning stop. That's why the law requires a lawyer or a parent to be present during the questioning.
You call these animals children? A woman is laying in the hospital right now fighting for every breath, and you're worried about parental supervision. The facts are, a woman went for a jog that same evening that she was raped in the park, and all evidence points toward the boys being guilty.
What evidence? False confessions and desperate attempts at connecting the dots despite the lack of clear links?
They were questioned fairly by the New York's finest members of the police force, and their admission on guilt stands on that.
Damn right.
You're ignoring the clear evidence that has been presented, and your obvious incompetence gives you even less of an ethos, as it is embarrassing to witness.
You're being insane, oblivious, and at the very least racist in your claims. These boys are innocent. The evidence presented shows it clear as a day, regardless of interpretation of any kind. You call me incompetent when you yourself deliberately chose to ignore these boys' evidence supporting their innocence. The real rapist is walking right now, and your failure in realizing is making me sick.
Okay, you wanna go right now, pal?
You're bluffing. I can smell your threats from a mile away.
Yeah?
Yeah?
That's it.
Okay, so thank you for being here with us at Misinformation today. There is much racism happening in this world, but we hope that it will stop soon. We hope you enjoy your evening and have a good day. Goodbye!